Hi there, everyone. This is Eva from Heart to Heart, and today's reflection time. And I do love to reflect upon things. And usually, when I go live and reflect, I will tap into energies, usually from the Cryon and Entourage, because that is the energy that I'm used to tap into, mainly because I've been spending a couple of years now following Alexandra Tabachinsky and her Cryon channeling and Martyra Collective. And by doing so, I have learned to use that because I'm connected to the Cryon energy, of course, but it's so easier to have a guiding to follow. I know that that is one of the lineages that I am supposed to follow. And by tapping in or popping in like this and just start talking, will gain insights and inputs from the collective. And that is why I do love to do those lives when I can just be here talking about things that are nudging me, because that is a bit how my way works. I have this suddenly feeling an urge to talk about something, and it won't leave me until I have spoken it or spoken of it. And sometimes I use cards to help me put words into it, because we are in a transition, and it's so much easier to have an image, picture, something that helps us to wrap our brains around to understand what it is we are talking about. So today I have been getting those feelings of not being satisfied with what I'm actually doing. And that is a bit annoying feeling for me, because I really do enjoying what I'm doing. So I have this nudging in my consciousness about not being fully satisfied in how I proceed within my life, and still be feeling this joy about what I'm doing. That is annoying. So obviously there is something there that needs to be addressed, and usually it's not only about myself. It can easily be about energies and influences that are coming in from all around, from other perspective, from global happenings, or things that are going on in human minds. And in this moment, I have slowed down the page interviews that I have, because I am putting all my spare time and energy into putting on a event in December, and it's transforming into a beautiful summit with a lot of lovely persons, and I'm looking so forward to be there in that creative energy when we go live. So December 9th and 10th, we will holding this summit, and it will be about expressing and manifest. And it's still in progress and being put together. And the beautiful thing about this is that all these beautiful people that has accepted to be on that summit has their own way of contributing with energy for the higher good. And we are not going to follow, a specific thread, because expression and manifest is wide open for interpretation and how you want to do it. And just by expressing how you feel will manifest in the physical world. And that is all about. If you talk about something, then you are manifesting it too. So, you know, thoughts are manifesting. When you express them, you pull them closer. So that is a amazing opportunity to manifest and integrate energy into our reality that we are in right now. So still I'm having this feeling that I won't say that I'm missing out on anything, because I surely don't do. And me, myself, like many others, I have a 9 to 5 work that I'm focusing on. But for me, that 9 to 5 is placed during the night times. So I sleep for a couple hours per day, and then I go work at night. And a lot of us who are in this ascension time and just living here upon earth are having our physical jobs or our own businesses. And then we have this complementary life beside, usually the spiritual life. And the key thing is that a lot of people who are just in this spiritual realm, just doing these things, they are either going way out there and are huge names that people are following like gurus, or they are struggling to survive or having these means that you are going round. And that is also a thing that is going on in this raising awareness of people that you shouldn't be spiritual unless you give it away for free. Well, I do upload that, absolutely. That is a beautiful thing. But you see, energy is also something that you are giving away, but you also should receive it. And sometimes people are saying like the big gurus, they don't get paid. Well, you see, when you say pay, you usually think about money. And money is a currency that you are using today because that is how society have switched into to value something that you are doing. If you take out the money and replace it with something else, that could be shelter over your head, it could be information that you are being giving, it could be caretaking, you can be receiving food. Some people are agriculting and sharing their food, but they are receiving something back because they can go there plowing in their fields without tools. And someone is making the tools. So someone is making the tool and you are paying back with what you have harvest. So that is a transaction going on there. So this transaction is necessary to uphold the balance in what you are doing. So if you open up to the possibilities that people who are working in this spiritual society, when they are putting a price on what they are doing, they are actually balancing up what they are giving away to, because that is partly the way of the society, and it's also partly about the divine laws. You can't put things out there and leave an empty room here, because you all heard about the quantum physics laws. What you are pouring out, you will receive back. Whatever you are giving away will come back to you, and it will be amplified. So that is how things are working, and that's why it's so necessary to be in our minds, to actually be in our minds, dropping into our heart and feeling why are we doing things? For what reason? Why do I express myself the way I do? And how does that affect other people? There is a huge task just to be here and thinking about whatever I'm saying is going to fall right into the lap of everybody else. That doesn't work. So some people will get offended, some people will love it, and other people might not even care about it. But whatever you are doing will suddenly and most likely affect someone else on the way. So therefore, you need to set an intention on what your purpose of doing things is, and you need to put it out there. And you need to be sure that your intention of doing things come from the pure intention of serving the higher good. And serving the higher good does not exclude the transaction of what you are giving, you shall receive back. So that couldn't be like you switching services with someone. And yeah, the most governments around the world doesn't like that because they don't get a tax from that, and or taxes from that. And I can't see that humanity is already there, that it will have such a greater input for the countries by people changing small favors for each others. So with that say, please do just contemplate upon this and try to understand how universal law of balance are applicable in this life. You will need to get something back in order to give something out. You are hanging around with people that you're probably like. And for a couple of years ago, there was a TV show, I think, from the States where a psychologist said that, what are you gaining for staying in that relationship? And people are saying like, well, if you are in a relationship that you are not benefiting from, you should leave it. But some people are staying there because it has something to do with self-worth, and maybe you don't have the economy to move from there, or the culture or whatever. But now I'm talking about the preferences that I'm applying within, okay, where I am from, because I'm living in a free country. So if I am at a work and I'm not satisfied by it, well, it's so easy to say, well, quit your job and do something else. And yes, I can do that. But if your whole life is depending on you having financial coming in so you can live and have this shelter over your head, that is a preference container that you have around yourself. You have set boundaries of what you want to have in your life. Like, I'm choosing this. And in order to have this, I need to work and have a steady income so I can pay for this, so I can have my Zoom and my computer, shelter over my head, and be able to pop in whenever I want to do that. Does it have a price? Of course it does. I have to pay rent. I have to pay fee to use my electricity. I have to pay fee to use Zoom. I have to pay fees for everything. And when I do that, there is something that I'm receiving, but I also give in exchange to get that. So when people are in positions in the spiritual realms, other people usually think that they should just give their information away for free. And a lot of people do that. And And that is an honorable thing because they are in a position that they can do that. But if they are supposedly, everybody wants to have more in their life. So people who are on camera and on YouTube and asking for something in return, they will usually get people's miscrediting them, and they will have annoying thoughts directed to them because sometimes people think that those people suddenly are misusing the divine energy. Well, you need to contemplate upon that. I can't say whether it's right or what is wrong, but do get into your head that it's a universal law, because the God source that is pouring into you also have a require. You're gaining information and you should give it out there, but you also have to put in devotion to get that information. So there's a transaction even there, because usually you have to do a lot of background work that you don't see. You have to provide with this kind of technology just to be able to pour information out there. So when you're receiving something for free, be honorable about receiving it. And if someone asks you to pay for something to participate, that is your choice. You can either participate and pay for gaining that information or receiving or be a part of that event, or you can choose not to. And the key thing between there is don't judge, because you don't know what that person or that company are putting in energy and what they are putting in by their own economy into their work, so you will be able to receive that. Okay, so with that said, we are inviting you for free to the summit in December. But that is not the thing. The thing is that you really need to start open up and thinking about the exchange of energies, because that is very, very important. And that will take us to the next step. Why is there so many of us feeling that we are not satisfied with the work we are doing? And when you're not satisfied with the work you are doing, you can still, you have the possibility to change it, of course. So just to get back on track, I pulled a card for that one, and I got this one, Five of Michael. And we have had this card before within our sessions. And what is it saying is that the situation doesn't serve you. And that is the truth. That is the thought of this conversation. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking more uplifting approach. And this thing about the situation doesn't serve you is that even though you are, or you might be working on something that you are actually enjoying, you need to see what you are receiving back. Because if you're just putting in or giving away from yourself, giving your energy away, it could be in relationships. You're giving everything in a relationship and you never get something back, you will become drained. So what this card is saying is also stop and reconsider it if the actions you're planning are worth your time and energy. You may well win the day, but there is a strong possibility that there won't be much to celebrate in the end. Ask your angels if there are other and more uplifting paths that you might follow. And there is a lot of negative energy coming from the people involved in this situation that doesn't match your vibration. Archangel Michael can help you vacuum away all that negativity, considering releasing your attachment to the outcome as too draining. Make more optimistic plans, even if things didn't turn out the way you hoped. Value what you've learned and try again with your improved information. So what it's basically saying is that if you are trying out something and it doesn't work, learn from that mistake and move on. And it doesn't have to be a bad experience, but just the feeling of doing something and you're not getting a response back within you. And I'm sure everybody knows, if you are honest with yourself, when you're doing something that brings you joy and happiness, and even though you might doing it for someone else, you know the feeling. And when that feeling doesn't exist anymore, then maybe it's time to change the approach to how we assist other people. And how you should do it, it's up to you, because no one is going to tell you how to do it or what you are getting for feeling by being a service to other people. That is so up to you. And the key thing is also, when you are in a position of rethinking what you want to do or rethinking how to approach what you want to do or expressing what you are doing, there will always be people around you that have inputs on how they want you to continue, how they want to express what you are doing. And that is the way it is. And you can actually be there and listen to that information. You can be in, you can take that information that they are giving you, because usually those people mean well. They are not there to take over, even though it feels like that sometimes, but they are usually there to help you. And you are your own master. So if you doesn't feel that that way is the way you should go, then you don't have to follow that. You can still listen to what other people have to say. And if there's something there for you, use it. And if there's something there that you thinking or feeling like, nah, this is not for me, then let it be. Just let it be and let those beautiful people carrying on their work, because we are all in here and we are sharing from our hearts. And that is the same thing with this. If it doesn't resonate with what I'm saying, and if you can't resonate with it, just let it go. Just let it move on. Don't dive into trying to, she said that, or she thinks that, or it doesn't matter. Either you resonate with it, embrace it, or you don't resonate with it, let it go. Because as long as you don't try to hurt someone, your intentions are good, then it's divinely guided. And the frequency that you are using will turn out well for someone who is listening to you. So keep doing what you are doing. And if you are gaining something from it, good for you. If you are gaining information, if you are gaining something else, and it works out for you, that's the way for you right now. And if you don't, then you might think about, what am I gaining of keep doing what I'm doing, or receiving the information that I'm receiving, or working the work that I'm doing? If that still is a benefit for you, then you're probably right. Okay, so it's not that I have friends that I'm only benefiting from. Absolutely not. But I do love to have people that in their minds and thoughts are expressing a frequency that you don't have to explain yourself all the time. So that is something that I like. I like to think a thought, and then I got a conversation with one of my friends, and we are on the same page already. So we don't have to, you know, catching up like a couple of days before we get into the issue. And the other part that is so important is that even if we are not on the same page, it doesn't mean that we don't like each other. It doesn't mean that we can't talk to each other. It just means that we are not seeing things in the same way. And either it is because our paths for the moment is going different directions, or that someone has a new approach that is for the higher good, and the other one may not have come there yet. Or it could be just like you need to be in a more expressive and understanding situation on how to proceed with that information or that energy. So it's a beautiful world. It's a beautiful and fun place to be if you just let it be that way. Don't overthink it so much. So the second card that and I'm not drawing anything that I pulled, was this card. Is Sandalphon, Archangel Sandalphon. And it says the search for meaning in life, considering an alternative approach. Surround yourself with these teacher or friends. Yeah. And it's also said there's no need to be alone. There are amazing people around from whom you would gain great strength and support. Seek out those who are like-minded and who share your beliefs and ideas. Make new friends that would benefit from your insights and affection. Archangel Sandalphon can help you find the meaning you're seeking in your life. Be open to other people's ideas and perspective, but don't be bound by them. If you are taking a very traditional approach to a challenge and things just don't seem to be moving forward, then it might be time to think outside the box. On the other hand, if your attempts to be creative are merely reinventing the wheel, perhaps the old-fashioned way would work out better. It says walking your talk, resistance to change, and spiritual seeking and divine wisdom. So how does those two cards apply to today's information about what they are saying? Well, it does, because it's a thread that are running through these cards. And the key thing is that even though you are enjoying doing things, the outcome of it may not be something that you are benefiting from. So what I and everybody else needs to do is to think about not why we are doing it, because we are usually following a dream, and sometimes we need to be in a road that moves upwards, because we need some resistance to be able to preach uh, uh, to appreciate the good things in life too, and to see behind that obstacles that are lying in front of you. But sometimes what you are doing may not be valued enough for those who are participating. So what this card is saying, if you aren't feeling satisfied in what you are doing, there might be something you need to change in what you are doing. And that is something that we can all apply to, and how we should do that. And the other thing in life is that you are your own master. And this is coming from the heart space right now. No one else can tell you what you should do, how you should do it, or when you should do it. If you aren't feeling up for doing something today, let's say you have a task that you want to complete, you want to go live, maybe you want to be in your community, you want to talk about something with your friends, and it doesn't feel right in that moment. If you sort out the fear-based facts, because sometimes fear is the key to why we are not moving forward or doing things in our lives. And as long as fear is the obstacle, then we are not coming from the right place in a way. But if you remove these obstacles, like fear or other aspects that are holding you back, so you're pure your intention, but you just feel that you doesn't have the inner strength to talk about something with your friends because you're not in the mood, then listen to that. It's okay. And even if they want you to be the center of the idea or event, or in this friendship group that you have, and you're not feeling that you are there for the right reason at the moment, then pause, take a break, and don't go into that, thought of being at service all the time. Because being at service also means you have a responsibility to yourself. You need to be within your own energies. Because when you are in your own energies, you are also getting the most beautiful inputs and insights from your higher self that are led from a higher source. You are from the source. So there is, from that aspect, we want to get our information. We want to be connected to our higher self. We do want to be connected to a higher power that works for the higher good. And if you aren't withdrawing your own energy, sometimes setting boundaries of, like, today is my free day. Well, we can use that because this is actually my free day today. And I'm not going to do anything that I'm not feeling pulled to. So this chat was not planned in my calendar. It was an input and a nudging from another source, from my beautiful guides. And when those impulses come, I will try to listen to them and explain and explore and embrace and express them, so everyone can be a part of that information, if that is a information that is valuable for you. So that's the reason I'm here today. And besides that, I'm just going to be here today in my home, in my own energies, doing whatever I want to do in the moment. And if that means cleaning the house, then I will do so. If it means that I will go out and do some training with my dog, I will do so. If it means that I will put my effort or energy into painting something or be artistic in something else, then I will do so, because I today have turned off my phone. And when I say that, I don't even know where it is right now, and probably for the good. And I'm going to keep that in that way. I'm not going to search for it. I'm just going to move around here doing nothing of importance as I probably would think was important. And just by being myself, I will get the most creative outcome of it, I'm sure, because that is when the idea and the connection with other side is as strongest, to go in silence. And yes, for the record, I can also say that this channel is not going to slow down the interviews or end with those interviews. It's just that I need to pause them now because my energy is going to plan for the upcoming event. And I need to balance the energy of when and how I am doing things, so I'm not doing everything at the same time, because that won't work out for any of us. So, and then it comes December. I do love December. And I feel right now that there's a download coming in here. There are a lot of energies pouring in from a higher perspective. And this is not so much that will be addressed to the ordinary life that we are all living and not connected to the collective. So I am saying I bid you a good day and a blissful day. And I will tune in to see what's going on right now. Be safe, take care, and talk soon. Bye-bye.